God tests Abraham. Genesis chapter 17 to 22, verses 1 to 19. Genesis chapter 17 to 18. One day God came to Abraham when he was 99 and told him that you will no longer be called Abram but Abraham. God also changed Abraham's wife's name from Sarai to Sarah. When Sarah was 90, God blessed her with a child even though Sarah was much past the years of being capable of bearing a child. Genesis chapter 21 verses 1 to 7. After their son Isaac was born, God made a covenant with Abraham and his family that every male born in the family must be circumcised. Genesis chapter 22 verses 1 to 19. To test Abraham and see if he truly feared God, God told him to take his only son Isaac and sacrifice him on the top of a mountain. Abraham did as he was told and brought Isaac to the top of a mountain. But just as Abraham was going to sacrifice him, an angel of God appeared. The angel told Abraham to not lay hands on the boy because this was only a test to see if he truly feared God and knew that God knows what's best. Reflection questions 2 to 4. Question 2. How does the scripture inform or challenge the society of the time, or current society? What does the story try to accomplish? Number 3. What is the significance of this story of God's people? Is a covenant made? If so, what is it? Question 4. What is the real-life application of this story to our lives? Why might someone share this with us? The people in the story are Abraham, Sarah, their son Isaac, and God. Although the text was called God Tests Abraham, he did it in many different ways. One example of God testing Abraham is when he told him to go to the mountain and sacrifice his only son for God. This story may be difficult to relate to today's society, but the main message is the lesson of the passage. This story tries to accomplish one thing, which is remembering that God knows what's best for us and he always has a plan. Overall, the main message that we can relate to now is that we should fear God and remember that he knows what's best for us. Answer to number 3. These Bible passages provide some key points to the significance of God's people. One of them being that God told Abraham that every male in his family must be circumcised, and this still applies to Catholics today. In Genesis chapter 17, the covenant was made. It was the covenant between God and Abraham. We still do this today as Catholics, and it is a big part in the Catholic faith. This covenant has a big part in the history of God's people, and is one of the first demands that God gave to us. Answer to number 4. This story could apply to the people of today's society by reminding them that God always has a plan, and that he always knows what's best for us. People that are going through tough times can read this and change their perspective on their situation. Also, if parents want to make their child Catholic, they can start by circumcising just as God told Abraham and Isaac.